Thank you, Mrs. Perricone, and welcome to chapel, everyone. First of all, we would like to thank Mr. Doherty's advisory for volunteering as greeters this week, and we also welcome the members of the Cardigan Ensemble who will be providing us with our gift of music. The ensemble includes Emrys Elku, Max and Elku, Jacob Slaughter on violins, Sean Kim, Thomas Lee, and Charles Sun on clarinets, Jung Ho Chang, Kyle Fuller, Sam Garrity, Jaewon Moon, and Justin Yoon on the cellos, and Mingyu Jung on percussion. Finally, we would like to thank Mr. Lister James, who will speak to us today on the conclusion of our hero's journey.
We also want to thank members of the reserve lacrosse team for offering our mealtime blessings this past week. And now it is their turn to issue the chapel challenge. So team captains, who will you challenge this week?
Brewster 2.
Okay, so Brewster 2, are you up for the challenge?
Yes.
Okay, let's give him a round of applause. We look forward to your leading these important community moments in the coming week. I encourage you to add our own blessings and expressions of gratitude for the many good things we all enjoy here on the Point.
Mr. and Mrs. McCusker, faculty, students, Cardigan community, it's my privilege to be back in front of you all again. What a year it has been, full of moments of great happiness and sadness, tears and triumph, frustration and resilience. Let's take a moment to just think and reflect on our year. Remember back on the 25th of September, that bright autumnal day. I remember that day well. I was standing right around here, feeling nervous and shaking like a leaf, a bit like I am now, waiting to introduce this year's theme of the hero's journey. That was the day our community was challenged to accept the call to adventure. And the Cardigan community took it upon itself to take on the year with vigor, beginning our individual and collective journeys. As the year progressed, we were aided by a host of mentors and brothers, giving advice, knowledge, and tools to continue our quest. Each of us had people who have helped us along the way, be it a teacher, a coach, an advisor, a dorm parent. Please take a moment to think about those at Cardigan who have helped you. Reflecting now on who has helped, thinking about how they have helped you, and if you are feeling comfortable, please raise your hand to share their names. Nathan?
Actually, Mr. James.
Thank you. Do I see Thomas back there?
Yeah, Mr. Bay.
Mr. Bayreuther, perfect. Taewon? Mr. Irwin? Justin? Perfect. And Sven? That's great. All of these individuals were part of your collective journey, and I'm sure there are many more. By helping us through these things, our mentors and brothers have helped us be resilient, to realize that we have gifts of light, our swords and lanterns, if you will. They're within us, and they can help us accomplish our tasks and help others as we do so. We've also encountered various trials throughout the greater part of the year and the winter term. These temptations, trials, cause cracks, not only in ourselves, but in the community we live in. Now take a moment to think to yourself about some of the challenges you have faced. What's been hard for you this year? What challenges have you had to face? We have all experienced challenges. some that are wider than the community, and some that are personal to us. Meeting these challenges has helped us grow and adapt while preparing us for one of our greatest challenges, our dragon battle. Do you all remember when we were all gathered outside by the lake surrounding the dragon that cold winter day? Can you remember the individual dragon scales that we all contributed? Do you remember what you wrote down on your dragon scale? We wrote down some of the biggest personal challenges that we were facing, be it academically, athletically, or socially. Some even went further, naming personal struggles within. These are invisible things that challenge our brothers, our peers surrounding you, mentors or colleagues. Each one a genuine truth about that individual. It wasn't an easy task to do, was it? I know I struggled with it. When we burned that dragon, which I have mixed emotions about, we became aware of how important and powerful it is to stand up to challenges, no matter how hard they might seem. To not only overcome them, but to acknowledge them in the first place. Since our return from March break, we have begun to reflect on this year, to atone for mistakes we may have made, and realign ourselves with the Cardigan community after a long and perhaps arduous year. What revelations have you had? What do you realize now that you didn't know at the beginning of the school year? What have you done, or have still yet to do, to atone, or to be at one with yourself, so that you can leave with no regrets? Thinking to yourself for a moment, have you said sorry? Have you said thank you? At this time of year, we begin to see the end is ahead of us, rapidly approaching. Yet it's just out of reach. Still with a couple weeks left, a couple trials that stand in our way before we complete this year. Some of you are probably thinking right now, and so, what's next, Mr. LJ, you might ask? Well, we've always had some sort of Marvel or fantasy story that you've thrown at us. And trust me, I know, you've heard Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, The Wizard of Oz. My favorite, probably a whole collection of Marvel and DC characters, and even some Arthurian legends to throw in. It's a long list. Well, I thought I might restrain myself for a bit and not bring up a Marvel character. Let's see how long I can last. We are going to take a brief interlude now, a short break, to enjoy today's gift of music. This will give us time, not only to enjoy the ensemble's performance, but to reflect on the journey that you have had this year, from the call to aid from mentors and brothers, trials, the dragon battle, to revelations. And afterwards, I'll be back. So please join me now in welcoming Mrs. Perricone and the members of the Cardigan Mountain School Ensemble as they perform the theme song for Doctor Who. Well, I'm back again. As we near the end of our hero's journey, I invite you to do one more piece of quiet reflection. It will help you right now if you get into a mindful posture, sitting up straight with your feet firmly planted on the floor, taking a brief, deep breath. Now, instead of relaxing your mind, I would like you to think of your favorite story, some story that features a hero or heroine. It can be something you've read, a movie you have seen. Have you got it in your mind? What made that story enjoyable? What drew you to the hero or heroine? Think about the defining moments in the story. How did the hero change from the beginning to the end? Now, please raise your hand if you've seen Iron Man. Quite a few of you. For those of you who have seen the first popularized movie version of this story, Iron Man was rather selfish and arrogant, with no sense of focus or purpose. He didn't care about who he hurt. As we've seen him in further stories, Iron Man changes and realizes, like many superheroes, that with great power comes great responsibility. Okay, so for those that are timing it, that's probably about 10 minutes max. Another Marvel reference, sorry. I have to admit though, I really enjoyed this year's theme, a hero's journey. What could be better? There are so many stories, so many versions of the same tale. Yet, I have to admit, we can sometimes get drawn up in the fantasy of it all, the wonder. I know I can, and more often than not, I do. But with this, we forget that this journey exists in real life too. So many people go through their own journeys, just like you. A firefighter, a soldier, a doctor, a cancer patient, an entrepreneur, a teacher, and perhaps a young man attending a boarding school in New Hampshire. If we think of these individuals, their journey, and your own, you can identify moments, a call to adventure, a mentor, a brother, a gift, trials, a battle, a revelation, and an atonement. What makes a real life as fantastical as our favorite stories is not the result, but the journey. It's the journey itself, not the destination, that proves to the hero that he or she can be greater than they ever imagined. It helps them to see within themselves, see what they're capable of, what resilience, perseverance, faith, and grace can do. All of you in this room have had this experience. You all share a moment of change, of growth. It may be small or large, but you've all gone through a collective and an individual journey. Yet it doesn't end here. For those of you who are in this room who are departing at the end of the year, you will continue to grow and develop. Your journey through this year at Cardigan may have come to an end, to close soon. But it's your turn now to go out and use what you have learned, the skills and tools you have gained. Know that this community here will support you, just like it has all this year. A hero is nothing without their community and the realization that their journey is never finished. For all of you, this community has come together to help each and every person fulfill their hero's journey. You have changed as the community has. Cardigan has changed and developed as you have. You must now take the time to go out into new communities, in old communities, even in this community, and help it and others to grow still. You will find that your journey, your hero's journey, will start anew, allowing you to make new revelations, meet new trials, and become someone new. Each of you is the hero. Every student, faculty, parent, alumni, you are that hero. But as I pointed out in my first speech, way back in September, you are the hero. But a hero is nothing without his or her community. So where is the hero after all? He's been standing there up in the column for 8 months, and now he's gone. What has happened to him throughout this year's journey? Well, remember that a hero is nothing without his community. We are heroes. But more importantly, we are Cardigan. Now I would like to ask you, I missed this in my first speech, to say it with me. We are Cardigan. Let's try it a little bit louder. We are Cardigan. No, I want individuals hiking on Mount Cardigan to be able to hear it. Let's make this the strongest, most powerful. Let's see those heroic voices. Ready? We are Cardigan. And you will forever be a Cardigan hero. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lister James. At this time, I'm going to ask that we please rise and fill the room with the singing of the Cardigan hymn.
Under the heading of "This is a gift that we weren't expecting," I am going to ask the McCuskers to name their favorite hymn, and we will sing whatever it is with gusto. Name a good one. Amazing Grace. Can we do it, guys? Do we know this? Can we do it? Yes, we can. All right, chapel. Ready?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I
We all right, Mr. Harris? Can we dismiss? Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we're back to where we were at the end of the service, which is I get to give you the benediction that I would have given you a little while ago, and then we'll do the postlude. All right. So friends, I'm thankful for this gift, and I ask as you leave today to look around. Notice the green leaves on the trees. Notice the sparkles of the raindrops that have fallen while we were in here. Smell the spring flowers beginning to bloom, and feel now the warm sun shining. God is blessing us. Let us, in turn, go forth today and be a blessing to others. Amen.